These are the city's newest employees, 170 goats assigned to get rid of noxious weeds in Rundle Park. Each goat can eat 10 pounds of weeds a day. Joy LIKE is the city's goat program coordinator, and she joins us in studio. Joy, thanks so much for coming in. What a job title. How do you get a job like that?
Oh, well, I seem to apply on it, and here I am.
So tell us a little bit about the goats and their big debut at Rundle Park. How did that all go?
So the very first day that the goats arrived, they were a little bit tired from their travels. So they drank a bunch of water, got some shade under a tree, and then they were off to work. They managed to get through a site that we needed managed that day fairly quickly, and so yeah, they're still there managing today.
Are you surprised at how quickly they can work, these goats?
Oh yeah, the goats are able to plow through weeds fairly quickly. This is my first time sort of managing a project like this, and so I was very surprised with the amount of weeds they could get through daily. Definitely.
Now, these are working goats too. I think people sometimes forget that if they're going into the park and they see these goats come in. What do you have to say about people who happen to see the goats going around? What do they need to do?
Oh yeah, we're happy to have the public come by and view the goats. They have a fence enclosure, and the fencing is slightly electrical, so we ask that you don't touch the fencing. Also, just ensuring that if you pet the goats, you wash your hands after, as well as keeping your dogs on leash is also really important in that area. So there's some guardian dogs that are on site as well, and they're there to protect the goats. So just making sure that you're aware of the working animals in the area and just being respectful of that. But the public is very welcome to go and view the goats.
So the program, talk a little bit about how much it costs and how things are going so far.
Oh yeah, so our operational budget is about $47,000. So this pilot we're just piloting for this year. In terms of how long the project will go for, we started this week was our first kind of launch, and then we'll continue on into September, the end of September.
So quite a while, and goats can get through quite a bit in that time.
Well, the goats are on a rotational schedule, so they'll be on for about a week this round. They'll come back in August for about 7 to 10 days, depending on how many weeds we have on site, and then they'll be off site and return back in September.
So what happens if this goes really, really well? What could this mean for other parks in the Edmonton area?
Yeah, well, we're hoping just to evaluate the program at the end of the season. There's potential that you'd see goats active in areas that are environmentally sensitive, perhaps, in the future, but none of that's for sure until we're able to evaluate the program. So there'll be more to say on that at the end of season.
So we'll keep a really close eye on that and see what happens as we move forward with Edmonton goats.
Definitely.
All right, thanks so much for joining us today, Joy.
Thank you.